Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Show. Welcome to Ngosi Talk Show, where our coaches can help you get more from your life and create concrete steps to help you get there. My name is Nomsa Clara Mncube. I am the founder of Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and the founder of Ngosi Talk Show. Today, I have one expert with me, Nadia Dubiel. So I'm going to let Nadia Dubiel introduce herself. Also, she can lay out her professional credentials, expertise. Over to you, Nadia. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nomza, for having me. My name is Nadia Dubiel. I am a body intelligence coach, and I have my own academy. So it's an online school, online platform where I take people through my program so they can get to know themselves. My academy is called Superhuman Academy. I created this platform just to educate people about themselves, because in today's world, all we learn is about all this skills and abilities, but we never actually learn who we truly are and what is our potential. So the Superhuman Academy is all about you learning about your dark side, about your higher self, about your body, and going within, because that's what we have to do, especially now in these times. We have to go within and stop looking for validation, for information on the outside world, because there's a lot of lies and manipulation and lots of craziness. So the best thing we can do for ourselves is just to go within and reconnect with ourselves. So that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you so much. So I have no clue what's happening today, so I'm going to hand over to you.
Perfect. So what I'm going to today is I'm going to take Nomza, and of course, whoever is watching, through like a little journey of learning about our minds. So this is, I've been studying this for about 5 years now. I learned most of this knowledge that I'm going to share with you from a wonderful person, William Whitecloud, and I put my own spin on it as well, because of course we have to make it our own and unique. So the knowledge I'm going to share with you, it's incredible, and I don't think you can find it anywhere else, because it's a lot of work and heart that was put into this knowledge, and it just makes so much sense, and it makes it so much easier to understand who we are and how our subconscious and conscious and unconscious mind work. So I hope you will enjoy it, and everyone else who's watching, and you will learn a lot of things. So if you have any questions as I take you through the journey, please ask away. I'm going to make it as interactive as possible, so just to make sure that you're learning and you're understanding everything. And whoever is watching, please be engaged, take some notes as well. There will be some questions, there will be a little homework. And so hope you will enjoy it, and let's do this. Are you ready, Nomza?
Yes. Do I need a pen and paper?
If you want, yeah. If you want to if you think you will take some notes, of course, yeah, because there might be some interesting stuff that you haven't heard of before. So
Brilliant. I have a pen and paper. Woo! And I have my phone.
Let's do it. It's like back to school.
Okay.
Perfect. Let me share the screen, and whoever is watching, please take a pen and paper, because actually, I don't know if you know, but if you take, there's this big car outside. I hope you can hear me.
Don't worry about the cars. I don't think we can hear them properly, so don't worry.
Oh, wonderful, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't know, I'm not sure if you know, but if you take notes when you listen to the new information, if you only listen to it, you can retain only up to 10% of what you're hearing. But if you are writing it down, if you're engaging your mind and your imagination, your creativity into it, you can retain up to 40%, much more information than you're just listening to. So it's really good to take notes wherever you are. Right, so let me share the screen. I'm not sure if, no, there will be no videos. Wonderful, so let's do this. So this is the presentation. Can you see my screen?
Of course.
Perfect, so let's crack on. First question to you, Nomza. Do you believe that you have a purpose?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you know what is your purpose in this life, in this world?
Oh, yes. My purpose is to serve and impact the world, knowing that I have, there's a higher power out there that can take me where I need to go when things get tough.
Beautiful, because we are all here. We all here for a reason. We cannot just be here having this life, living this life, just living from day to day, going to work, going home, and going on holidays. Life is so much more deeper than this, and not a lot of people is aware of they truly want in their life. So all this workshop is all about finding out your true purpose. So there's this wonderful quote from Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's a Russian writer, and he said these beautiful words: "The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for." Uh, so Namza, could you just share how do you understand this quote? Just like briefly,
How
what
do I understand the world?
the quote.
The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. It's basically for me to understand that I'm not just here, I'm not just living, there is more to life. I can achieve more, I can be more, I can be who I want to be. I can actually unleash, I can be anything. I can create anything as long I'm willing to. I can be who I want on earth as long I'm willing to put the hard work and willing to pay the sacrifice. Because the sacrifice, it means I have to sacrifice on getting rid of TV, which I don't watch TV anymore, which is really sad. I love my sports, but I don't watch it a lot anymore because of the sacrifice that I'm making. I'm putting it on the books. So I think that's how I understand it. So how can you explain it? Because you are the genius in this one.
No, what you said is exactly that. So we all have our uniqueness, and the way we look at things, it's our own way. So how do you understand this quote? And everyone else will be maybe a little bit different, and that's what makes us human. That's what makes us unique beings, because we are not here to be the same as everyone else, but just to have our own look, our views, so we can contribute in our own ways and make it as versatile and as diverse as possible, because that's what makes world beautiful. When we make it, when we all contribute to creating it, this various beauty, it's so amazing. So what you said is just perfect, and whoever reads this quote and have their own opinion of it, that's perfectly fine. That's what it's all about. Cool. So second question, Namza, do you have a clear vision for your life?
Do I have a clear vision for my life? Yes, I do actually.
That's
I do
wonderful.
have a
Yeah.
clear vision. Coronavirus has taught me a lot of things. I don't complain anymore. I don't mourn anymore. And that's why I actually, when Tarini said she was given an opportunity, I actually made a decision that my vision is to keep going, and I was like, I'm gonna let my friend go with grace, but I'm gonna create my vision. I'm gonna continue with my vision. Basically, my vision is to serve the world. I was watching this guy on YouTube. He's sponsoring, he has a charity that sponsors 1,000 schools, is responsible around the world. So I was like, 1,000 schools? So I have to make my vision work so I can get there. I would love to be that one of people that are helping people around the world, making sure they have water, they have food. As long as someone has got water and food and education, and that's all I need. So yes, that's my vision, Nadia. I do have a clear vision in my life. But you can
Perfect.
help me to clarify my vision. As
That's
well.
exactly what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make it more clear, more precise, because yeah, it's so important to have a clear vision in life, direction, because vision is your direction, where you are going, where you're heading. If
Yes.
you don't have that end goal, end result where you want to be, you're just gonna, go anywhere, and eventually you're not gonna create anything in life. You're just gonna go, you're just gonna swim through life without actually contributing anything for yourself and not getting that fulfillment. And to have a vision for life, it's very important. Vision should never ever be created from your head. Our heads, it's just here to help us survive. That's all it is. It's not creative. What is the center of creativity is our heart. So the vision for our life should only be created from our hearts, because that is the reason why we are here. Our purpose lies in our hearts, and that's it. It's not, looking around our environment and looking up to other people, because that's just copying. What truly matters is to learn about yourself, to listen to yourself, and realize what your heart truly wants to create in this world. What are your heart desires? Because that is your potential, that is your life mission, that is your purpose. Right, so let's move on. Oh, here, there's another quote. I love quotes. This guy, Simon Sinek. Have you heard of Simon Sinek?
I think I came across with this quote last week, or was it this week? Scrolling down.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, there you go.
I've never heard of him though.
Simon Sinek, yeah, he's a big guy. He works with corporations actually. So he has a beautiful vision. He wants to change the corporate world leadership and make leadership in corporations heart driven. He makes a lot of talks. He's got YouTube channel, and he's just incredible guy. He's just helping people to reconnect, to go within themselves and reconnect with their heart, and stop being so robotic and corporate basically, but come back to being a human, even at work. So yeah, so he said greatness starts with a clear vision of the future. There is no other way, guys. So if you're listening, just, if you don't have a vision for life, if you don't know where you're going, you're gonna get lost. Really, you're gonna keep getting lost, and eventually you're not gonna get anywhere. So really listen to yourself and work out what is it that you want from life. Right. So what's the formula actually to find yourself? So the first step is I am. So it's all about laying the foundations, learning about the foundation, about your core. Who are you? But not only as your potential, but also who. So we have two sides to ourselves. We have a victim side and we have a creator. And our victim is our ego. So our ego basically is here only to keep us safe and secure. And it's kind of conflicting what our creative side wants to do. So our creative side wants to create, because that is who we are. We are creative spirits. And ego doesn't want us to create because it's scared. It's really it's fears of our potential, and it just wants to stay in comfort zone. So the first step that anyone can do is just to learn precisely about your ego. What is your ego? What kind of beliefs that did your ego create since you were born, since you were conceived, basically? And what does it think about the world? Because thinking, every single thought in that you have, anyone has, it's ego. Our higher self, our creative side, doesn't think, because it just receives the information basically from the outside world. Because as I learned recently, we are connected through everything in time and space. So we already know everything. We don't need to learn all this knowledge, all these courses. We already know everything. As long as we go within and learn how to listen to our wisdom, our inner wisdom, our higher self wisdom. Because creator speaks to us all the time, but we, instead of listening to the creative information, we keep listening to our ego, to our thinking. And remember that ego wants us only to keep us safe and secure. So all the thoughts will be negative, fearful, driven by fear. So step number one is always get to know yourself as much as you. So you have to know what you want to create and how your ego is trying to sabotage you, to stop you from creating what you truly want. That's step one. Step two, shadow. You have to, yeah, so sorry. So shadow is basically your negative side, your dark side. your unconscious beliefs that are stopping you from becoming who you are. Because if you don't bring it to the light,
I've never
yeah.
used this term of shadow, Nadia. I
Mhm.
like it.
Yeah, exactly. It is your shadow because it gives you this illusion. Because when we see shadow, we always we get scared of it. It's this form that is keeps following us, and it's it's our darkness. It's our basically part of us that keeps us in the shadow, that hypnotizes us to play small and to never follow our hearts. So we have to learn about this shadow. We have to bring it to the light so it disappears completely. And the third step is, of course, to have a vision. So these and vision, of course, as I said before, it's just coming from our heart. Vision cannot come from our head, because when we create from our head, what we're going to do is we're going to create stuff that we don't that we think we want, basically, and usually it's coming from the insecure place, from the place of fear. So at the end, we will just create what we don't really want, because that's how it works. Our ego thinks that we are not powerful. Our ego thinks that we need to constantly develop, that we need to learn, that we're not good, we're not worthy, we don't have value to offer. So it keeps asking us to develop, to learn, to go on courses, instead of already knowing that we are powerful. So if you listen to your head will keep telling you, creating vision that is not really true for you. It's not your real potential. It's just a shadow of the vision, really. That's all it's going to be. So it's important when you create vision for your life that you stop listening to your mind, to your insecure mind that wants to keep you alive and survive, but listen to your heart, which is incredibly powerful, and just uh, it's just so creative. We're all creative. So that is the formula, how to really find yourself, right? So, and that's how you become super conscious. That's how you become superhuman. That's how you become um, higher self, and you stop listening to the sabotaging behaviors and following the patterns that are stopping you from achieving your life dreams, right? So who am I? How to learn about yourself? First step, Greg Braden. Do you know Greg Braden, Nomzan?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. So he said the world around us is nothing more and nothing less than a mirror of what we have become from within. Could you maybe explain how do you understand this quote of Greg Braden?
The world around us is nothing more and nothing less than a mirror of what we have become from within. So, yes, for me, I can describe myself from within. If I was to ask myself, who am I? I am love. That is how I describe myself. Love is what I know, love is what I do. Love helps me to build the things that I want. It helps me to connect people. So that's how I can describe this. And the quote is just telling me to describe myself from within. It's not what I have. It's not the big house that I have, the big cars that I have. It's what I have within, what I can build within.
Yeah, of course. So basically, it's our outside world is complete full reflection of our inside. So if you look around yourself and you don't see the life that you truly desire, that you dream of, it's no one else's fault. It's basically, it only means it's an indication that you are not following your heart. You are living driven by the ideas and beliefs from of your mind, of your ego, of your identity. That our identity is very sneaky and it's very intelligent, and of course it has mind on its own that is actually running and overpowering our true desires. So it's very, very important to do inner work, to learn about yourself. If your life is not the way you want, and you can see, look around yourself, and it's, if you are in conflict, if you don't live in a place that you want to be, if you're constantly frustrated, tired, and feel stuck, that is obvious indication that you are living in your head. You are not living in your heart, because that's where life becomes a beautiful adventure, and everything changes, and universe conspires to, to help you and support you when you are in your heart. So let's carry on. Right, so this is the most important lesson from today. So over here, we're going to talk about different levels of consciousness that we all have. And these different levels of consciousness that are constantly sending information, that are constantly sending information to our subconscious mind. So these are just different levels of our mind, basically. So subconscious mind is the creative mind. It's a feminine side of us that creates our reality, basically. And we have three different types of minds. We have superconscious mind, which is our self, which is our higher self, which is our heart desires. Self-conscious. Self-conscious mind is all about who we think we are. So basically, this is about 5% of the truth. Our self-conscious mind.
We
Yeah.
can download the lies in there.
Yeah, basically, all these people, they talk, but they don't do. They never, follow the words. So a lot of people talk a lot about themselves and what they can do, and all of this stuff. But this is all self-conscious mind. It's only really really tiny part of us, and it's deeply connected to our unconscious mind. So well, it's connected to both superconscious and unconscious, but mainly, and the hero of this slide is unconscious mind, which is basically our ego. So when we are children, from 0 to 5, we create perception of ourselves, others, and the world. So everything that we need to know, we create by the age of 5. And when we are growing up, we need validation from feminine, from our mom, and validation from masculine, from our dad. And if we don't get that validation from our parents, which unfortunately doesn't happen most of the time, because we have very high demands, our ego is very sensitive, we create unconscious beliefs like, we don't feel good enough, basically. We don't feel worthy enough. We don't feel like we belong anywhere. We think that we need to be perfect. And there is lots of this belief that we create unconsciously. Because when we are growing up, when we're little kids, our brain is like a sponge, and it just absorbs everything. And what happens is, for example, you create, as a small child, you create something, a drawing, maybe a card for your mom, for your birthday, for your dad, and you put your heart into it, because you are a little creative spirit. So you are in your superconscious when you're creating it. And then you run to your mom to get validation, because that's what we naturally do. That's what our ego wants us to do. We need that validation from our parents. And you run to your mom, and your mom is just tired, she's busy, she just doesn't have time, and she just ignores it and kind of rejects your creation. And then, of course, you feel heartbroken as a child. You feel rejected. You feel like what you have to offer doesn't matter. It's not valid. It doesn't have any value. And and then as a child, you already learn that your gifts, your creations has no meaning. And basically you grow up having this kind of perception of yourself. So whatever you create in life has no meaning. It does not matter. And obviously consciously, self-consciously, you don't know that. You don't know that at all, because you just want to, you just think you're great, you're just a normal average person. uh, but that's why a lot of people, they have to keep developing themselves. They have a lot of self-doubt about themselves, when it comes to things that they create, that they offer. They always ask people for opinion, for approval. We need that approval of other people, even when we're adults. They need to I need to double check with someone if what I created, if what I did is good enough, is valid. And we go through life basically thinking like this, asking for permission basically of other people, if what we did is okay, only because as a child this one little thing happened. And when this one little rejection happens to you as a child, you get emotionally attached to this idea, because you don't want to feel hurt anymore. You don't want to feel rejected anymore, because it's against survival. It makes you feel vulnerable. And of course, the ego doesn't want you to feel vulnerable, and it creates beliefs. Okay, I'm unworthy, and I cannot show my creations to the world because I will get rejected. And you live like this, basically. So how our subconscious mind works, it receives information constantly from these three places, but only creates and listens to the information that has the more power. And the power obviously comes with emotions. That's how we make decisions. So subconscious make decision based on emotional attachment that we have, connection that we have with the idea, the information that's coming. And that's how it creates our reality from our unconscious beliefs, because we are emotionally attached to all these beliefs that we created as children. And we never find time to listen to our higher self, to our hearts, because our mind is so overpowered by these negative emotions. So I'm not sure if that's clear. I don't know. How do you understand this, Nomza, what I just said? Is it clear enough? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think it is very clear, because when our subconscious minds is basically creates the reality the way you're putting it down. Basically, we create. It's like when I watch Bob Proctor, he talks about sometimes someone might come to your life and they do something, and then you say to yourself, "This person did this to me," and it's like, actually, if you refuse to actually react to that situation, this person, that means they've not done anything to you. You have decided to react to whatever they've been doing. They have done something, but you didn't. And you can choose how you receive, like the way you are explaining. We can choose how the information basically that goes to our mind, or we can download the lies to our self-conscious and tell us whatever. Tell this self-conscious anything he wants to know, and if it's the truth or if it's the lie. And then the subconscious is the reality of whatever is happening in our lives. And yeah, I do understand it very well. You're explaining it very well, Nadia.
Perfect. So yeah. So exactly. So we leave. Oh, what happened? Everything. Oh, that's the next slide. Yeah. So basically, we live our life being driven by the ideas, by the information and thoughts from our unconscious mind, which is basically our ego, the personality that we created. So our personality, identity, is just an illusion that we created since we were children to make sure to not to get hurt anymore. Basically, that's all it is. That's why you created our personalities, and our personalities have no connection to our superconscious, to our hearts. And that's why it's so important to find time for ourselves and learn and listen about this different side of us. um, so yeah, so this is basically, this is called Enneagram. So this is a 9 personalities types that are in the world. So according to certain teachings, this is coming from Sufis, so a very ancient civilization that lived in Mesopotamia thousands of years ago. They created, well, obviously this is simplified by people from the West, but more or less that's what it means. So Enneagram is divides all 7 billion of us into 9 different personalities. And these personalities, of course, are created by ego from the child wounds. So the first one is perfectionist. Someone who is it right or wrong, correct or incorrect? So this is a person who is always striving for perfections. These people, for example, they, before they start anything, or they usually never start because they have to be perfect, they have to be a certain way before they do things. So if you can relate to any of this, just maybe you can share, because it's, you know, some, we can be more than one of these personalities, by the way. We can be mixed, but you know, usually we have like one, a core personality type. The second one is the giver, the helper, is the person who has a lot of very low self-esteem. Will others like me? Am I needed? So this is person who puts others in, first before themselves, and they do everything. They give so much energy away to help other people, to think of other people, but what it does is they never get anything back.
I used to be this one. I used to be this one, the giver. And it actually took me a long time. It's very, very painful actually when you start actually working on it. It took me a year actually to work on it using Paul McKenna's program, 1 year. And I used just to give and give and give and not getting anything back. I knew that when I give, I don't expect anything back. But it actually, there's a time where when you give, you actually expect kindness and a thank you. But you just give because you want nothing in return. If anyone is listening, they know what I mean. But there's some people that you buy relationship. You feel that you have to buy someone. When someone does something for you, you feel that you have to say thank you by giving back, but you don't. So I think I used to do some of those things.
Yeah, of course, we all go through. Yeah, we all have. You know, it's a very, being giver. It's very popular personality type. So a lot of people are just, you know, giving away so much value without actually receiving, being able to receive help or support or gifts or anything. So a giver is very, very popular. Then the third one is the performer. So these are people who are working hard, they are achievers, they're achieving a lot of things, they're very future oriented, they never stop, they just constantly do courses, qualifications, and that's coming from the place of lack as well, because they don't feel like they have it. They don't feel like they have. They don't feel like they're good. They have enough. So there's something missing within them. So they're constantly looking for more and more, because they don't feel like one complete piece. So this is number 3. Then we have a number 4, romantic. What is missing? So these people are these people are usually like aloof. They're scared of intimacy. Can I express myself? Will I be? I don't, oh, it's cut off. So these people have difficulties with connecting with people and intimacy, basically. And they, of course, they dream a lot. They live in their head a lot, in fantasies.
It
So
is it is tough, Nadia, not to live in the head. You have to be prepared to undo everything, that to unlearn everything, basically. I used to live in my head as well. That's one of the things that I used to do, live in my head. One
yeah.
day, I'm gonna meet that special person, and I used to dream, and I'll be talking, and I'll be dreaming. And then one day, I don't know, something hit me in the head. Went, wake up!
Yeah, yeah, of course, that's it. That's, that's how we actually wake up in life, when something really bad happens, usually, because we hit so-called bottom, something traumatic, some kind of emotional trigger, and big emotional triggers happen, and we realize, oh, I need to change myself. I need to change my life. And we go on a journey of self-development, and we help others through that. So that's amazing. Cool. Then we have number 5. So this one is an observer. So this is a person who's got like a lot of trust issues. They don't trust themselves and other people, and they observe, and sometimes they terrorize as well. Basically, they challenge they disagree a lot. They just people with they just afraid. They just don't trust anyone, and they prefer to stay on the side and observe the environment before. And they never actually get involved because with other people as well, because they are just afraid of connection and attachment, and yeah, they don't trust anyone, so they always test others unconsciously.
So, what advice can you give someone who is an observer who doesn't trust themselves, Nadia? Because I think it is the biggest problem for people, just trusting. But for me, I just find it like I used to say I don't trust this person. I find that no matter whether you trust or you don't trust, you get hurt anyway. You might as well get on with it.
Yeah, so basically people that have trust issues, they have a lot of negative thoughts, of course, and self-doubt. So they always people um, that they always in their head thinking, oh, people colluding against themselves, people gossip about them, and they always set like traps, tests, a lot of tests for people that they with, maybe in relationship or friends, just to test the connection, to the test to just the test if the trust is there. So they put them under a lot of challenges just to see, but most of the time they sabotage it. They basically they push the other person so far that the trust is broken. So basically because they deep inside in the core, they believe that they cannot trust anyone, and they will attract people and situations that will confirm this belief all the time. So the only way to start trusting other people and change that is just to relax and forget about this. Just completely change the perception, because when you do that, you will start attracting people that you can trust. But it's not easy. It's difficult. That requires a lot of inner work and self-awareness. Firstly, because you have to really watch your thoughts. As soon as you start thinking, oh, I cannot trust him, he's gonna cheat on me, he's lying to me, and you grab the phone and starting going through the phone to read the messages or spying on people, you just have to catch yourself doing this, because all of these insecurities are coming from the head, from something that happened in the past, long time ago, and has nothing to do with today, with the future. But we keep running the same patterns, thought patterns, all our life. So yeah, so it's all about observing yourself and catching yourself. Any negative thoughts that we have is not real, basically. As I learned from William, he's a wonderful teacher. Thoughts and feelings aren't real, because they are just creation, illusion of our ego. They have
Yeah,
nothing
and
to do with
they
our heart.
can deceive you as well. The feelings can deceive you as well.
Yeah, 100%. They just illusion of reality. They has nothing to do with the truth. So any thought that you have is just an illusion that is coming from the place of fear and insecurity. If it's a negative thought, of course, just that's it. There's nothing there, and it takes time to learn that, because we live in a crazy world where there's so much noise and confusion. Right, then we have number 6, loyal skeptic. Is that okay, Namza, or do you want me to go? Yeah, is that understandable?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So this and loyal skeptic, very similar. What could go wrong here? So this is am I making, so these people of course are they're not sure about themselves, they're not sure about anything, they just kind of skeptical people, and they usually stay to themselves. They don't make any progress because they always very negative about everything. They always look at negative side of life. They don't trust anyone, and they cannot make their own decisions as well. So they people that they don't feel they're capable of making decisions, so they always look for that validation from the outside. Then we have number 7. This is very popular. So this is a very enthusiastic person. So these people are usually very busy. They're very excited about this new thing. So they get excited about this new course, this new person. That's so cool, new fashion. And they do it for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, they just lose interest and they go somewhere else. They got interested in something else. And they started 15 different courses and they just give up after doing it for a little while. And they just keep, they never complete anything. They just get excited about new things and they lose the enthusiasm very quickly and they just move on to something else. So there's lots of people like this. So yeah, it's what is the saying? YOLO, you live only once, kind of a type of a person. So these amazing people to be around to have fun with because they're full of energy, but they change very quickly.
Even
So they
in
might
love,
change like this.
they leave their option open.
Totally. Like one day they love you, next day they can hate you. So they are very unpredictable people. Then we have protectors. So this is number 8, power. So these are people that left their complete control freaks, dominant people. They don't let you do anything. They're very pushy. They have to have a control, and of course that's coming from the insecurity that they don't have any power, so they have to hold the power. So they, because otherwise if they don't have power, something bad will happen. They will die. They will disappear. So that they have to stay dominant, and they very of course they never open up. These are very cold, emotionless people that need to be in control of everything. And then the last one, oops. And then the last one we've got external claims. And so these are people people that like peace. They peacemakers. They don't like conflict, and they always they never challenge anything. They just go with the flow. They never express their opinion, and they run away. Basically, the escapists. Basically, they escape most of the situations without challenging anything and anyone because they're afraid to.
How do you challenge crazy, Nadia? If someone is really crazy and you know that if I'm gonna challenge this person, all I'm gonna get is crazy, no a solution. How do you handle that situation? Because for me, I always have I always say to myself, is this fight worth for me to fight? If it's not, if I look at the person and I look at the situation without judging them and just the way they're doing, and I'm like, no, this is not worth my fight, I let them get on with it. Is that right or wrong?
Of course. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think all the answers lies in your heart, because as you said, sometimes it's okay to do it. Sometimes the best thing you can do just to remove yourself and get out. And the best answer is just to listen to your heart. And if your heart tells you challenge that person and become assertive, just do it. But sometimes it can be too dangerous. It depends on the situation and the person, because if you can be violated by the other person, definitely good. It's good to get out. But if you feel strong enough within yourself to challenge them, it's only you personally would know if you are strong enough to do it, or if you're in danger, real danger. Of course, do not do it. Get out. But it all depends on the situation, who is it with. But challenging people, to challenge other people, we really have to have that inner confidence, inner strength to do it in an assertive and heartfelt way. Because if we do it from the place of fear and intimidation and self-defense, we might just make the situation worse, much worse. That's why there is so much conflict and wars in the world, because it just ego fights and there is no heart in it. So if you would challenge someone from the heart, you could straight away, they feel it, they understand it, and it's the energy. Everything is energy. So if you do it from this powerful, indestructible, loving place, there is no way this ego-driven evil person would actually, fight back and say something, because our hearts are incredibly powerful. We are powerful, and if someone is driven by negative behaviors, negative thoughts, and is being controlling and dominant, the only way is either to get out, to run away, or challenge them from the inner self, from the place of heart, but not being obviously pushover and speak very politely. It's just following your instinct. So I don't think there is like one what to do. just just listen to your heart, and but you really have to know that you're powerful inside, that you're incredible, that you are wonderful, strong, beautiful person. And challenging others is very easy. Then I've been to this kind of situation many times, and I know if I go from the place of fear and defending myself, it always goes wrong, and it doesn't end well. But if I do it from the place of inner confidence, inner strength, and follow my heart, that is completely different scenario always. I don't know if that helps.
That's awesome.
Perfect. Always listen to your heart. Cool. Let's move on, because this is just one more thing. Oh, my presentation is. Yeah, so shadow. So one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but making the darkness conscious. That's it. We can only really learn about ourselves. We need to know our dark side, our shadow. We need to know who we are, because if it's just there hidden deeply in our minds, it's gonna run our behaviors and thoughts patterns without us even realizing. But the more we know about ourselves and how our mind works, and what beliefs do we have about ourselves, others, and the world that are negative, that are holding us back, only then we'll be able to change it, because we have to be aware of it first. We have to become aware of it. We cannot live in this illusion that we are perfect and amazing. If and be honest, if you open your eyes and your life is not as you wanted it, it means that your mind, your unconscious mind, your shadow is running your life. That's it. There's no other way. There's no one else's fault. It's just lack of self-awareness. And yeah, as I mentioned before, we all have that shadow, which is evil wolf, and we have a higher self, which is our creative spirit. And if you have a lot anger, sorrow, greed, pity as well, it's very negative. Guilt, shame. If you feel these emotions every day, it means that your life is driven by your shadow, by your ego, by identity that you created to survive. So it's time to learn about it, because if you don't learn about it, it will keep running. It will keep running your life. And then, of course, you need to learn as well what your heart truly wants at the same time. If you want to feel that compassion, truth, have faith, and be happy and joyful every single day, you really need to listen to your heart and stop listening to your mind. That these two sides of us, these are just two parts of us, but we have to learn about both equally. Because when we know about our dark side, we know when it's speaking to us and it's sabotaging us, so we can just disregard it, and we can refocus and listen to our heart instead of listening to the evil side of us. Evil, I mean like negative. And the last thing, just last slide, something that what does my heart truly want is so powerful. So your vision will become clear only when you can look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. So this is very, very powerful, beautiful quote from Carl Jung.
That's
So
so powerful.
yeah, so can you just quickly share, Namza, what do you think about it? What
Your
does it
vision
mean to
will
you, this
become
quote?
clear when you can look into your heart. I think if you can look into your heart, I understand it when it says your vision will be clear if when you can look into your heart. Is basically being honest with yourself, where you need to go and what you need to do in life, the things that are serving you, the things that are not serving you. And this is a difficult part when you actually look out, when you look outside, well, because whatever is happening within, it will appear on your outside world, your dreams. Whoever looks inside you, when you look inside, basically you are awakening that giant inside of you, and which is a very, very difficult thing to do. And I remember when I actually started looking, I used to, when you want people to approve things that you do, you think people gonna approve this, people gonna love me and things like that. And then when you don't get the reaction that you want, and then you get disappointed. So when I actually started to say, you know what, I actually need to look within. I need to be honest with myself. And Nadia, it was a painful thing that I have ever done in my life, because there were people in my life that I had to leave behind for them to follow me later. And there are some places that you have to leave behind. The things that you do, like the jobs, you have to leave behind everything that you think, when you search within, because you will realize that actually my outside world does not represent what's on the inside of me. And when on the inside of you is greater than what's on the outside, then you won't need approval from anyone. Because when you step outside, you step outside with grace, with joy, with all these lists in the giant. The what was the two things before this slide? Let's go back to the slide. Yeah,
This
this
one?
one. Yeah, that one. No, the other one. Yeah, this one. You step outside with joy, with peace, and you have hope. Like right now, there's coronavirus. If some people have lost hope, you will have hope, serenity, humility. Basically, your kindness. You'll be kind. Wherever, when people are not smiling, you smile at them. You lighten the room. And benevolence. What is benevolence?
So benevolent, it's just very authentic, real, and good from a heartfelt.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, I use authenticity and empathy, generosity, the truth. You speak the truth and you have compassion. The people that step outside, they always speak the truth. They always have compassion. They always have faith in everything. So that's what that quote is describing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's what that
yeah. We have.
quote is describing. And this side, the one is evil. This side, when it says you have inside each of us are two wolves. These wolves, that is one is evil. You have to get rid of it. Basically, you have to get rid of it. It's not good for a human being.
No, of course not. But we all have a bad wolf, and the most important thing we have to do is just to accept that it's part of us as well. Because if we don't accept it, it will keep us, playing small. I'm not
Yeah,
saying accept it and follow it, but really accept all parts of us. Because if we're gonna deny that the dark evil side, we will always feel unworthy. We will reject. We will reject to see things that are reality, that are truth. So we'll pretend it doesn't exist, and we're gonna be afraid to ask. We're gonna be afraid to act. We'll be very apologetic. We'll be very, it's not right. We have to accept all parts of us, because when we do it, only then we can really move on and decide basically which one to feed, which wolf to feed. Right. So how you can create so how to listen to your heart, basically. So that's these 4 steps to connect with your heart, to listen to your heart and not your mind. First thing, you need to have peaceful environment. If there are distractions around you, your mind will take over, because you will be hearing, listening, looking. And that's what your mind does. You are not in your heart. You are not really being intuitive. That's why all distractions needs to be removed if you really want to learn about your health. So when you're reflecting and when you're stuck, if you don't know what decisions to make, instead of going on Google or asking a friend, just create a peaceful environment for you with no distractions. Clear your mind. Relax through deep breathing. It's very important that we breathe into our chest. Sorry, our diaphragm, not to our chest, because when you inhale, our arms should not be lifting. Nonza, could you inhale just like through your nose?
Yes.
So when you inhale and the chest and your shoulders move, it means that you are your body is in a fight or flight mode, so you cannot really be creative. So it's important that we breathe into our lower belly. So breathing deeply is very, very important. And of course, then when you relax, when your mind is clear, just put your hands on your heart, because our heart is a brain. It's a powerful brain. It's not just a pump. It's a powerful brain that makes all the decisions, but we just keep listening to our thoughts too much. So just go down into your heart and ask yourself any questions. Your heart will tell you the answer, always. It's just incredible. Cool. And this is something that you guys can do at home, and knows I highly recommend you to follow the process at home. Like just do it maybe when you have time next time. That's because that's how you connect with your heart. So just create peaceful environment, clear your mind, relax through breathing, connect with your heart, and ask yourself, then what is, if you don't have vision, if you don't have a plan, if you're not sure if the vision that you have for your life is the right one, just follow the steps. Ask yourself, what is my big life vision? And imagine yourself at the end of your life. What would you want to have created? Be as specific as you can. Describe your life at its peak. Don't be afraid. Dream big. Don't engage your mind in that. Just your heart, because your heart has no limits. What do? Imagine you're at your deathbed and you're looking back at your life. What is it that you would want to create so you feel totally fulfilled? That is when you speak to your heart, when you're not engaging your mind. And just keep writing and write down the answer.
So is this the homework?
Yes, that's the homework. That's it.
What is my life big vision? Yourself at the end of your life. What would you want to have created?
Yeah, and then the second question that you can ask yourself, this is more personal. So this is your life vision, your heart desires. And the second part is about yourself as a person. What is my higher self like? How does it feel to be that person? How do I look? How do I smell? How do I dress? So this dream knows that you know that you are. How do I speak? What words do I use? What language do I speak? Very important question. What is different between me now and between my higher self? So you can clearly see what you have to work on to get there. And a beautiful question, what is the world like when I'm my higher self? So how are you influencing the world? So these are the super conscious questions that you can ask your heart to become a better, more beautiful, more creative person. And yeah, so just connect with your vision every day. So after you answer these questions, you have to connect with it every day. You have to remember, who are you and what do you want to create every single day before you get up. You have to feel it with your heart. You have to start embodying it with your thoughts, with your behavior, with your actions. You have to have a clear plan of action, how to get there as well. And of course, you need to take action every day. You have to work for it.
Easter egg search game.
Oh, it's a beautiful game that I've heard from Jonathan Amaret. So he's my other mentor. He's a wonderful guy, very, very, just a genius, another genius. So he said, so if you imagine that Easter egg is your vision, it's your end result that you want to create. Like children during Easter, parents hide eggs in the garden, and children, to get the egg, they go out in the garden, they look for it. So this is taking action. So when you imagine the Easter egg is the vision that is hidden in the garden, to get it, you cannot just visualize it and imagine it that it's there, it's coming. You have to get out there. You have to put your ass out there and take action to find it.
I like this. I like the game.
Yeah.
It's basically is creating a plan and actually putting everything into action.
100%.
I'm playing a game. Sometimes I might not find what I'm looking for, or sometimes I might find the eggs.
That's it. You can only find the egg if you take action.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sometimes I'll find the egg, or sometimes I might not. That means I have to keep searching. I like this.
That's exactly that. And that's what powerful creator knows as well. Sometimes we're not gonna get what we want, and it's okay, because exactly, keep searching. There's more eggs. So yeah, so the question is, are you gonna give yourself a permission to create what you want? And yeah, this is just my definition of superhuman, which is your higher self. Just trust in your own intelligence, trust in your own self and your own heart, because that's what you want to create. Don't listen to your mind, just listen to your heart and create what is possible for your heart, not for your mind. Because we are incredibly limitless, powerful being. So yeah, do you have any questions?
Okay, the question is, are you ready?
Exactly. Are you ready? That is the question. But if we are born ready, that is the only answer. We are born ready for it. We are pure, creative, powerful, limitless beings. And because we listen to our ego and the self-doubt and negative thoughts, and we're scared, we actually stop. We get lost, and we don't.
So now, does it mean like now, if I give myself a permission to change and create a new life, so now when I'm here, I have to ask myself, why did I come here? Does it mean that? Or
100%, yes.
Oh my goodness, that's tough.
It is tough, and it's exciting, and it's big. It's not, something that your mind was. It's our heart is massive, and our potential is massive. It's limitless and powerful.
Yeah, that's powerful. That is really, really powerful. So if I was to do this as a homework, how long would that take me, basically, for us to come back?
Sorry, could you repeat?
If I was, the last bit, like there's questions that you need to ask yourself.
Yeah, let me come back to it.
How did I get here? So what?
Let me put this slide on again.
Yes, the question. Yeah, here. How long will it take me to do this?
It's up to you. It depends how much energy you put into it. You will put into it. That's all. It doesn't. It can take you whole lifetime. It can take you 1 year. It's all about how much attention you're putting into it, how deeply focused you are on what your heart really wants. Are you focused if your focus is here in the evil side and ego side of you, when you create frustration, anger.
Hold on, I need to take a picture of this evil side. every time I feel anger,
it depends.
I have to remind myself that I'm on the evil side. Or I feel greedy or regret or blaming, I have to know that I'm on the other side. I'm on the evil side.
Yeah, exactly. So it depends where your mind is. If your mind is with the bad wolf, it's gonna take you forever. If your mind is in with the good wolf, with your higher self, with your heart, It's just gonna be so easy, and you will get support from the universe. Basically, you will get support from the creator, because basically your life will start, everything will become smooth and easy, depending who are you giving power to, which wolf are you feeding. Are you feeding the bad wolf, your victim, this insecure, fearless, fearful victim person? Are you feeding your creator? If you're feeding your heart, that's what
Okay, I think I'm gonna print this or write it down and put it on my door.
100%. Remember, which
Yeah,
wolf?
I
Yeah.
need to put it on my door when I can remind myself if I'm feeding the wrong wolf.
And
But
so important. First thing that you wake up, which wolf are you feeding as soon as your mind is, when you open your eyes? Are you feeding your heart, your good wolf, or are you feeding evil, your bad side, your victim?
awesome,
And
Nadia. Thank you so much.
so yeah, that's what's creative work is, when you really listen to yourself, to your heart. And we all have unique desires, unique hearts. We all
And
have.
you know what people don't know as well is everyone is creative and everyone is clever. Everyone is smart. It's the wolf. It all comes down to the wolf. That evil one is the wrong one.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yin and yang. It's a very old Native American saying. Which wolf are you gonna feed? The wolf that will survive, that will win, is the one that you will feed the most. And by feeding is, giving attention and energy,
That's
basically.
awesome.
Because
Thank you.
yeah.
That's
So yeah, I
awesome.
hope you enjoy it and that you learned a lot.
I hope our audience they have learned a lot. I have learned a lot, and this is worth it. The time that is being put on this is worth it because I'm learning a lot actually. You know, it's uh, you learn from people. Even if you are a coach, you learn from other coaches because there are some things that you've never thought of or you already know it, but when someone else is putting it out there, you're like, oh, okay, I need some changes in my life. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it and you learned something. And yeah, just let's follow our hearts, because the world will be so beautiful and different if we all really connect with our hearts instead of listening to this limiting thoughts and the negative thoughts. It's gonna be so much better.
Thank you so much, Nadia, for
Thank
today.
you.
Anyone who is watching, please, if you want to get in touch with Nadia, you can get in touch with her through Ngosi Talk Show. And she is part of the community. She's part of your community. So if you want to request her or you want to get in touch with her, you can follow her on her social media, or you can just send a message private on her Facebook page. She will get in touch with you, or you can get in touch with her through Ngosi Talk Show and our website as well, Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency. You can go there and request whoever the speaker you want to request. And you know what, Nadia, when you were doing this, I actually saw the vision of this talk show. What is it going to become, basically? I'm just, when you were busy, basically busy with this and busy talking, I see the vision where this is going, because when I said before that this is not an entertainment show, we just gonna impact millions and millions, and I mean it. So, and having people like you coming here and basically inspiring our audience and showing people what life is about. Is not a game that you can just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. And feeding the bad wolf, the evil one. You have to feed the good one. Thank you so much. And We'll see you tomorrow. We are here tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, exactly.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, everyone. And live with grace. Anything you want to leave with our audience, Nadia?
And now just exactly what you said, feed the good wolf and follow your heart, guys. Stop listening to your heads and go in your heart.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Live with
you.
grace.